Guys, great to see you both together. I think this may be something of a first. Can you describe the nature of this relationship between yourselves?
I think it sort of evolved since Abu Dhabi at the start of this year. I'd played with him before, but never really got a chance to speak to him, in depth. And I think we have a lot of things in common. We're both, huge sports fans, and have a lot of things to talk about. And I think just from there, our relationship has evolved because we've, played with each other quite a lot this year, and it's been great for me to get to know him, and maybe try and pick up a few things and learn a few things from him too.
We have a lot in common, and granted there's an age difference, but still, I had a huge age difference with my other good friend O'Meara, but we had so much in common, and it was just easy to be around, and I think our relationship will certainly grow and over the years, but also our competitiveness. I don't think that's going to change.
Tiger was a huge hero of mine growing up, basically all the way through, watching him do so many great things on TV.
Name?
Rory McIlroy.
Occupation?
Professional golfer.
Specialist subject?
Tiger Woods.
How many majors has he won?
14.
What age did he first appear on TV?
2.
What year did Tiger turn pro?
1996.
Getting a chance to know him, getting a chance to compete against him is something that I always dreamed of. Get to spend time with him and hang around with him is something that I find pretty cool. He transformed the image of golf, made it a younger sport, got younger people into it. I guess give it a more athletic image as well.
When you look at someone like Rory now who's come on in the last 5 years, what do you see in particular that impresses you?
Well, it's athleticism, it's the confidence, it's going out there and hitting shot for shot. It's fun to play against somebody like that, who has a lot of belief in their own ability and goes out there and does it. These guys are just so athletic, and it's a new era in our sport, and we're kind of like in a transition. From when I first came out here, no one worked out. It was just me and VJ. I'd see him. We'd be in the same gyms, and it would only be us. That was it. Now you see everybody. That's neat. It's neat to see someone of Rory's class, take golf seriously and consider it a sport, not just an activity.
You see the guys coming out now, like Dustin Johnson, Gary Woodland. There's a lot of guys that are so strong, so athletic, make really powerful moves at the ball. And if you want to beat them, you got to try and match them or better them in some way.
Just very quickly, the fact that we've got the two of you together here as well, that's not something that we would have seen, say, 5-10 years ago. With you being the dominant player, we always had you on your own. It was a singular thing. But is this a change in the way that the business is changing, or a change in you, perhaps?
Well, I think we had that feeling. It's just that we just didn't share it with the public. I got along pretty good with most of the guys in my era that I played against, but it was more just in a locker room, and obviously down the fairways. For some reason, Roy and I have become really good friends, and we'll continue to be that way. And it's actually pretty funny you say that, because I talked to Jack about it, and Jack and Ronald didn't like each other at the very get-go. They just didn't see eye to eye. But also now they're best of friends.
Yeah, Nick Faldo was talking recently as well in commentary that it wasn't done in his day, or his whole methodology was to keep it to himself and to be a little bit aloof, that he didn't have those sort of relationships, and that fed into his performance, he said.
I mean, for me, you're on tour long enough, and you don't need enemies out there. You wanna have friends. Sometimes life on tour can get a little bit lonely at times, and you want to have guys that you can go out for dinner with and you can have a laugh with in the locker room, and you're out there for 25 weeks a year, so you may as well make it fun. So yeah, I mean, if that's what worked for Faldo, then great. It obviously worked for him really well. but I don't think that would be something that would work for me.
To summarise the year, how do you, in your own words, categorise what's happened in 2012?
I think this year has been a great year for me. I think anytime you win a major championship, you got to call it a great year. I won 3 other times. I had that little bit of a mini slump in the summer where I didn't play well for a few tournaments, but that happens.
How do you assess it, Tiger?
As Rory said, winning major championship makes it a great year, and I think I've had a really, really good year. Winning 3 times and obviously not winning for a while and being hurt for such a long time. To come back, and when there was a lot of people who said I would never win again, and then to win 3 times this year and to pass Jack on an all-time win list at age of 36, I think that's pretty cool.
You talked briefly there about people writing you off. I mean, do you read what's out
I didn't
there?
have to read because every press conference I go to, just get hammered. Well, you're never going to win again, blah blah blah, and it was every tournament I went to. So it was a lot there for a number of years, about a year and a half, where I have to answer that question every single round, after every single round, at every tournament, pre-tournament, and to do that a lot, and then to, as I said, to pass Jack on an all-time win list this year, and to do it 10 years younger than him, I think that's a pretty neat accomplishment.
You obviously got off to such a flyer as a kid turning pro with multiple major wins. Rory's now doing that. You're in this Tiger, Jack, sort of Rory conversation at the moment, and obviously Rory's got that potential. Do you see him in that league, and what do you see in Rory's potential?
Absolutely. He has the potential to win countless more major championships and many tournaments, not just in the States, but he's a global player, and it's only going to get better. The high side is so high, and he's already accomplished so much at an early age that it'll be fun for me as a competitor to go against him as he's getting better.
And Tiger, with the whole emphasis on Jack's 18, it's a question that has to be asked every time. But you still see it as a realistic goal to surpass 18?
Absolutely. And don't forget, it took him to 46.
Yeah.
So with the fitness regime and staying, eating properly and staying in shape, I can play for a very long time. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity. If you say hypothetically 10 years, that's 40 more major championships I get a chance to play and compete in and try and win. Hopefully I can at least win 5 of those.
Rory, like when you consider Tiger's career, you consider where you're at now at world number 1 at this stage at 23 years of age. What concerns you most? Is it injuries? Is it scrutiny?
I think one of the biggest things for me is longevity. I'm 23 years old. I've still got a lot of years ahead of me, and I just don't want to be burnt out. I don't want to get to the stage where I'm 30 years old or 35 years old, and I don't want to say fed up with the game, but it's a long time to be playing a sport, and I just want to pace myself.
You've had to deal with so much scrutiny, being the dominant figure for so long. What advice do you have for Rory at this stage, Tiger?
Absolutely, exactly what he just said, is pacing yourself. Everyone is going to be trying to bring you to their event, deter you away from time that's spent to practicing. How did you get there? You didn't sit there by sitting on your butt the entire time. You got there by working hard and doing all the things you need to do to prepare. And people are going to be trying to take away from that. Some guys just show up and they just try and practice for the week and build themselves into it. I consider that totally BS. I'd much rather practice at home, be ready when I go to an event, is the win, period.
Well, you've both got a long way to go in the game. It's a pleasure having you both on Living Golf, and let's hope for so many battles down the way as well.
You got it. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tiger. Thanks, Rory.